Hello and welcome to East Longmeadow High School for today's Valley League matchup between the Amherst Hurricanes and your East Longmeadow Spartans. Leading off for Amherst in the top of the first, their second baseman Dan Hodges, followed by their catcher Jake Balderson, and then James Carey, their third baseman. Ethan Young's batting fourth. So the leadoff batter, Dan Hodgkins, steps into the plate, takes a strike on the first pitch from Ben Bonavita, and we're off and running here at East Longmeadow High School for today's Valley League tilt. Bonavita looks in for the sign. 0-1 pitch. Same spot, same result. No balls, 2 strikes to the leadoff batter, Dan Hodgkins. Amherst comes in with a record of 7-5. They're 4-3 in the Valley. East Longmeadow 6-7, also 4-3 in the Valley, as Bonavita gets them looking for the first out of the game. It's the key for Ben and the East Longmeadow pitching staff to throw some strikes, get ahead of the batters, and that'll bring up the catcher, Jake Balderson, here with 1 out in the top of the first. Amherst Hurricanes arrived a little bit late. Some would say that was a little strategy. First pitch is a ball in the dirt, nice stop by Nick Shea. 1 ball, no strikes to the batter, Jake Balderson, here on another windy day at East Longmeadow High School. Bonavita looks in for the sign. 1-0 pitch. Again in the dirt, blocked nicely. 2 balls, no strikes to the catcher, Jake Balderson. This is the second meeting of the season between Amherst and East Longmeadow. The first one, Amherst won up in Amherst, 3-2. Walk-off single by Daniel Hodgkins. This is the 2-0 pitch, swung on and missed. 2 balls, 1 strike to the batter, Jake Balderson. East Longmeadow with a big win there last time out. Last Friday they beat Cathedral 8-5. A little bit of revenge for an earlier season loss here at EL. Justin Garcia had 2 for 4 with an RBI. Reed Phillips 2 for 2 with a run scored. Here's the pitch. Balderson reaches out, singles to right field. 1 on, 1 out for the Amherst Hurricanes. And that'll bring up the third baseman, James Carey. Amherst played yesterday. They lost to Holyoke on a walk-off. They're coached by Gary Voros, and the teams are tied for 3rd place in the Valley League. Bonavita looks over, and the runner's back safely at first. 1 on, 1 out here in the top of the first. No score from East Longmeadow High School. Ben Bonavita on the mound. First pitch blocked nicely, right at the feet by Nick Shea. In the 3 or 4 games that I've done this year, really impressed by the work that Nick does behind the plate. He's a sound defensive catcher. Make sure the ball stays in front of him. It's the biggest key, especially when you got runners on. 1 ball, no strikes to the third baseman, James Carey, here in the top of the first. Bonavita to the plate. In there for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike to the batter, James Carey. There's the sun. Nice if it warmed up a little bit. Late start here today. Fly ball, center field. Portalucci underneath it, makes the catch for the 2nd out. 2 outs, 1 on, no score. Ethan Young, the shortstop, cleanup hitter for Amherst, getting set to dig in. Jake Balderson on first, he singled. 2 outs. Little low. 1 ball, no strikes to the Amherst cleanup hitter, Ethan Young. Ground ball to third. Anderson fields and throws to first for the final out of the inning. And at the end of a half inning, Amherst nothing, East Longmeadow nothing.
Today's game is brought to you in part by The Pizza Shop, home of the legendary dough, located on Shaker Road in East Longmeadow. And also by Let's Yo, a yogurt experience. You can visit Let's Yo on North Main Street in the Stop and Shop Plaza in East Longmeadow.
Back here at East Longmeadow High School, bottom of the first, no score. East Longmeadow leading off for East Longmeadow, John Bortolucci, the center fielder, followed by Nick Lambert, Reed Phillips, Nick Shea, Ben Bonavita, Tyler Martinelli, Matt Indomenico, Nate Anderson, and James Stone is your lineup. And they'll be facing left-hander Jack McGowan, senior from Amherst. Bonavita allowed a single in the top of the first, but no other trouble for there. So John Bortolucci steps in, center fielder for East Longmeadow. One of the leaders in the Valley for runs scored. And he takes the first pitch for a strike. And John was leading the entire Western Mass in runs scored amongst the statistical leaders. So he fouls off a pitch from McGowan. No balls, 2 strikes to the center fielder, John Bortolucci, leading off here for East Longmeadow in the bottom of the first. McGowan looks in for the 0-2 pitch. Here it is. Fouled off at the plate. Way to protect the plate for Bortolucci here. No balls, 2 strikes to the Spartan leadoff hitter. It was a tough loss the last time these two teams met, with Amherst winning in the bottom of the 7th inning. So I'm looking for a little revenge. Bortolucci fouls off another pitch. Count stays at no balls, 2 strikes. East Longmeadow's had some luck in some of the revenge games this year. They big revenge game last Friday, beating Cathedral on their field at Forest Park. No balls, 2 strikes. Bortolucci. As McGowan looks in, goes into the windup. Ball low. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Nice day here at East Longmeadow High School for the ball game. So Bortolucci gets set. Takes ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes to the Spartan leadoff hitter here in the bottom of the first inning. No score. Doing what a good leadoff hitter should do, letting his teammates see a lot of pitches, fighting off some pitches from McGowan. The 2-2 pitch, another foul ball. It's a good leadoff hitter. You want to foul off a lot of pitches. You want to let your teammates see what the pitcher has. They can size them up a little bit better. McGowan's 2-2 pitch. Ball 3. Count is now full as it goes to the backstop. So from 0-2 all the way to 3-2. It's a good at-bat for Bordeaux. See if the Spartan center fielder can work his way on here. Start something in the bottom of the first. Ball high, worked his way for a walk. Leadoff batter on here in the bottom of the first for East Longmeadow as the right fielder Nick Lambert steps in. Nick was recently named to the area's Super 7 players to watch going into the baseball playoffs. He's really come on the last couple games, helping the Spartans with a couple key victories. Bortolucci takes off from second. The throw down from Balderson. Safe. And it gets into center field, so Bortolucci will go all the way to third. So the walk comes back to hurt as Bortolucci gets all the way to third. The middle of the infield for Amherst was late in covering. It was a pretty decent throw by the catcher Balderson. So Nick Lambert up, runner on third, no outs. East Longmeadow. McGowan back into the windup. Takes a ball high and outside. Pitch from McGowan. Outside. Pitch from McGowan. Fouled back. balls, 2 strikes. Spartan right fielder Nick Lambert. Pitch from McGowan. Drives one deep to left. It's carrying. It's over the left fielder's head. Lambert on his way to third. He's going to try and get there. Triple for Lambert. Scores Bortolucci, and East Long Meadow takes a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the first. Good piece of hitting. Took one down, drove it right over the left fielder's head for the triple, for the RBI triple. And that'll bring up the shortstop, Reed Phillips. Reed last Friday in the big win over Cathedral was 2 for 2 with a run scored. He'd like to get that runner in from third with no outs here. Bottom of the first. Pitch from McGowan. Outside. Ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes to the number 3 hitter, Reed Phillips. One-0 pitch on the way from McGowan. Grounded foul. Good cut. Good cut. This whole inning was started with the patience of John Bortolucci to get the walk and work his way around the bases. Came around to score on the triple by Lambert. The 1-1 pitch to Phillips. Outside and low. 2 balls, 1 strike. He gets the strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes here. No outs in the bottom of the first. East Long Meadow 1, Amherst nothing in this pivotal Valley League tilt. Fights one off, keeps the count at 2-2. The 2-2 pitch. Drives it into right field for the base hit. That'll score Lambert. 2-0 East Long Meadow on the single by Phillips to right. East Long Meadow with the bats clicking early. So 2 runs in, no outs. Runner on first for the catcher, Nick Shea. First pitch to Nick is high for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. On deck, Ben Bonavita, your pitcher. Comes the 1-0 pitch from McGowan. High, 2 balls, no strikes. Nick Shea, the catcher. Two-0 pitch from McGowan. Just a little bit outside. 3 balls, no strikes to the Spartan cleanup hitter, Shea. Reed Phillips on first after his RBI signal. Takes a pitch for a strike. 3 balls, 1 strike. Bottom of the first. East Long Meadow 2, Amherst nothing. Both teams same 4-3 record in the league. East Long Meadow looking to even their record at 7-7. Here's the pitch, and it's ground ball. Nice stop by the shortstop, but Shea will beat it out for an infield single. Would have been a real bang-bang play by the shortstop. He made did a nice job just to keep it in the infield and keep the runner from going to third. So East Long Meadow runners on first and second with no outs for the batter, the pitcher, Ben Bonavita. As the coach will take a trip to the mound to settle down his pitcher. Amherst 7-5 overall. Like I was saying before, they lost to Holyoke on a walk-off win on Monday. In the first meeting between these teams, Dan Hodgkins had a walk-off single to win it for Amherst 3-2. Dan Lombardo was the tough luck loser. He only gave up 3 hits, struck out 6. Tyler Martinelli and Matt and Domenico each had 2 hits in that ball game. The mound visit is broken up. And before we get back to action, just a reminder, if you're a student or know of a student that has an interest in TV production, live play-by-play, or news anchoring and reporting, LCAT can always use the help. Contact Mr. Mackey at the high school, if interested. Ben Bonavita steps in. First pitch to him, high for a ball. Slum Meadow making McGowan come to them. Phillips on second, Shea on first. No outs here. Strike over outside corner to Bonavita, evens the count at 1-1. McGowan's never really been able to settle in. Slum Meadows swinging the stick today. Ball 2 outside, 2 balls, 1 strike to the number 5 hitter, Ben Bonavita. He's pitching today for East Long Meadow. Fouls him off into the tennis courts and out of play. Evens the count at 2-2. Three straight hits for East Long Meadow. A triple by Lambert, 2 singles by Phillips and Shea. 2 runs already in. No outs here in the bottom of the first. That's time's called. It's so important to make the pitcher work in these early innings to get on top early, put some pressure on him. Helps your pitcher out, helps your team out in the field. As Bonavita protects the plate, fouls it off. Count stays at 2-2. McGowan looks in for the 2-2 pitch. Here it is. Outside, count is now full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. No outs here, bottom of the first. East Long Meadow up 2-0. And the 3-2 pitch from McGowan. Hit on the ground to second base. He'll get the out at shortstop, throw to first. Safe at first. Runners at the corners. Bonavita beats it out. For the first out of the inning. So Phillips advances to third. Bonavita safe on the fielder's choice. Now batting the 6th hitter, first baseman Tyler Martinelli. He had 2 hits the last time they faced Amherst when they played up there. Tyler would really like to get that 3rd run in from third base. East Long Meadow has RBI hits from Nick Lambert, hit an RBI triple, scoring Bortolucci, and then Reed Phillips followed up with a RBI single to score Lambert. 2-0 East Long Meadow in the bottom of the first. Pitch from McGowan. Bonavita takes off. They'll let him take second. So 2 runners in scoring position for first baseman Tyler Martinelli. Facing the left-hander McGowan. 2 strikes to the batter Martinelli. Just wants to put the ball in play. No balls, 2 strikes. High and inside, 1 ball, 2 strikes to the Spartan first baseman. Bottom of the first, here's the 2-1 pitch. Ball 2 evens the count at 2-2. Late start here, 5 o'clock start. Gowan looks in for the sign, runners at second, third. His time is called by Martinelli. He'll dig his way back in. So McGowan looks in for the sign. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Inside and high. Count is full. Another Spartan battle. Back from 0-2 to 2-2. 3-2 now. Full count pitch. In the dirt. Phillips scores on the walk to Martinelli. Bonavita will advance to third. And it's East Long Meadow's 3rd run of the first inning here. So Bonavita's on third. Martinelli walked up to first, 1 out. Runners at the corners. For the DH, Matt Indomenico. They'll let Martinelli take second on the first pitch strike to Matt Indomenico. DHing today. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes to the Spartan designated hitter. Runners, 2 runners in scoring position. As Matt chokes up on the bat a little. And he hits one out of play. Count stays at no balls, 2 strikes. Bonavita on third, Martinelli on second. The 0-2 pitch. And he hits one right past the second baseman into right field for the base hit. Bonavita will score, and Martinelli will score all the way from second. 2 more runs in, 5-0 East Long Meadow here in the bottom of the first inning. On the single to right field by the Spartan DH. That'll bring up the East Long Meadow third baseman Nate Anderson, the 8th batter to hit in the inning. 5-0 East Long Meadow. Nice piece of hitting by Matt. Put it right in the hole. First pitch is a ball in the dirt. 1 ball, no strikes. To the Spartan third baseman. Catcher goes out to settle down his pitcher. Spartan so far 4 hits in the inning, 5 runs. Beneficiary of a couple walks that have scored. Really, everybody's put the bat on the ball. So far. 1 ball, no strikes to the batter, Nate Anderson. Here's the 1-0 pitch. And he hits one to center field. Center fielder comes in, makes the catch for the second out of the inning. So 2 down in the inning, and here's the number 9 hitter, left fielder James Stone. East Long Meadow batting around here in the first inning. Five runs in, 5-0 East Long Meadow. Still in the bottom of the first. The first pitch to Stone. Off the first baseman. Pitcher can't make the play. Stone beats it out. And Domenico up to second base. And that'll bring up the leadoff hitter, John Bortolucci. He walked to lead this off and came around to score. Stole second, advanced to third on an error by the catcher. Matt Indomenico at second, James Stone at first. 2 outs here, 5 runs in for East Long Meadow. And the pitcher McGowan got ahead of Bortolucci quickly with 2 strikes, but then Borto worked the walk, fouled off a ton of pitches. Takes ball 1. And he added to his Valley leading runs total. 1-0 pitch. He hits one foul and out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike to the Spartan leadoff hitter and center fielder. In the games that I've done, this is the best I've seen East Long Meadow come out of the box swinging the bat. Usually it's taken them a couple of innings, but they really jumped on the Amherst starter today. 5 so far, 2 runners still on. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Off the outside corner for a ball, 2 balls, 1 strike. Pitch. Fouled back. Evens the count at 2-2. Pleased to be joined by our camera woman today, Dawn Martin. She's a junior here at the high school, and this is the first time she's shooting sports for LCAT. So I know she's enjoying the game so far as East Long Meadow leads 5-0. Bortolucci hits one back up the middle, and it's through into center field. And Domenico coming around, play at the plate. He's safe. 6 runs in for the Spartans on the single up the middle by Bortolucci. Stone moves up to second base, and that'll bring up the right fielder, Nick Lambert, who got the run scoring started with the RBI triple, driving in Bortolucci in his first plate appearance in this inning. Ball inside. 1 ball, no strikes to the Spartan right fielder, Nick Lambert. Yeah, he crushed one to left center in his first at bat. Fouls one off. 1 ball, 1 strike. Six hits in the inning, 6 runs for East Long Meadow. Stone on second, Bortolucci on first. 1-1 pitch. Catches the outside corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Spartan right fielder. Here in the bottom of the first, East Long Meadow's batted around. As Lambert flies one to center field. Center fielder comes in, and he'll make the catch. But a great inning for East Long Meadow as they put 6 on the board, and at the end of 1, East Long Meadow 6, Amherst 0.
Sports fans, stay in touch with all of East Long Meadow High School sports by following us on Twitter using our handle @LCATSports. And if you miss any of the games on TV, you can watch the game at your leisure by visiting us on YouTube and searching LCAT 01028.
6-0 Ben Bonavita, the beneficiary of a 6-run bottom of the first. So, it's a little easier to pitch when you have when your teammates can get the bats going and get you a nice lead. Six. Yep. Brendan Zomek, the first baseman for Amherst, steps in. Here's the pitch from Bonavita. Low for a ball. You can pitch a little freer when you have a nice lead. Ball in the dirt, trying to overthrow a little. Pitch from Bonavita. Line to the right fielder. Nick Lambert comes in and makes the catch for the first out of the inning. So 1 out here as Sela DeLomba, junior, steps in. Designated hitter today. First pitch taken for a strike as Bonavita gets ahead of him. Next pitch blocked in the dirt by Shea. Evens the count at 1-1. Here in the top of the second inning. The 1-1 pitch. And it hits him. So DeLomba hit by the pitch. He'll take first with 1 out. Here in the top of the second inning. East Long Meadow with 6 on the board in the bottom of the first. And that'll bring up the pitcher, Jack McGowan. Pitch gets past Shea. DeLombo around second. Decides to stay there. First pitch ball to pitcher Jack McGowan, who would like to actually get one back. Gave up 6 in the bottom of the first. 6-0 East Long Meadow. Here as we play in the top of the second inning. In this big league tilt between the Spartans and the Hurricanes, they're tied for third in the Valley League. Sitting the hole through to left field. DeLombo will around, but he won't go. Runners at the corners with 1 out as McGowan singles into left, and that'll bring up the left fielder Sam Lincoln. 2 on, 1 out. Runners at the corners for Amherst in the top of the second inning. Lincoln, the left fielder, takes the first pitch for a strike. Getting ahead. That's the key. You got a 6-run lead. You want to make it nice and easy. Throw strikes, play catch out there. Let your fielders do some work. One pitch driven deep to left. And it's over the head of Stone. The 1 run in. Here's the second run as both DeLombo and McGowan will score. McGowan was on the move before the pitch, so he scores easily from first, and Amherst gets 2 back here on the double by Lincoln. Sam Lincoln with a double, and it's 6-2 East Long Meadow, and that'll bring up Django Ellenhorn, the right fielder. The number 9 hitter. In the Amherst lineup, first pitch is a strike. A hit batter and a couple of hits, brought in a couple runs. 1 out here in the second inning. East Long Meadow 6, Amherst 2. Ball 1, even count at 1-1. To the number 9 hitter Django Ellenhorn, the right fielder. 1-1 pitch from Bonavita. Fouled back. 1 ball, 2 strikes. One ball, 2 strikes to the right fielder from Amherst. Sam Lincoln on second after his 2-run double. 1-2 pitch. Fly ball to right. Lambert underneath it. He makes the catch. Runner stays. 2 outs here. So 2 outs. Runner at second. And that'll Amherst back to the top of the order for their second baseman, Dan Hodgkins. Dan got the game-winning hit the first time these two teams met, but he struck out looking in the first inning to lead off the game. And the pitch that's outside. 1 ball, no strikes to the Amherst second baseman. 1 ball, no strikes. Pitch from Bonavita. In there for a strike, evens the count at 1-1. Top second, East Long Meadow 6, Amherst 2. Amherst got their 2 runs in this inning on a 2-run double from Sam Lincoln. And he's currently on second base with 2 outs. It's on the ground to the first baseman. He'll take it himself, and that ends the inning. But Amherst comes back with 2 of their own in the top of the second, and after an inning and a half, East Long Meadow 6, Amherst 2.
Today's game is brought to you in part by The Pizza Shop, home of the legendary dough, located on Shaker Road in East Long Meadow. And also by Let's Yo, a yogurt experience. You can visit Let's Yo on North Main Street in the Stop and Shop Plaza in East Long Meadow.
East Long Meadow batted around, sent 11 players to the plate in the first inning, scored 6 runs on 6 hits, highlighted by the 2-run single by Matt and Domenico and the RBI triple by Nick Lambert. Reed Phillips singled in his first at-bat, driving in Lambert for the second run of the inning, and he also scored a run. He came in on the fielder's choice by Bonavita. Looking to keep things going here in the bottom of the second. Takes a ball high. from Jack McGowan, the Amherst pitcher here in the bottom of the second inning. East Long Meadow 6, Amherst 2. 1-0 pitch. And he hits one to right field. Right fielder makes the catch. Nice running catch by the right fielder, Django Ellenhorn, for the first out of the inning. And that'll bring up the catcher, Nick Shea. Nick reached on an infield hit to the shortstop in the first inning. 1 down in the second inning. East Long Meadow leading 6-2. McGowan delivers. It's outside. Ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes to the Spartan catcher. One of the leaders of the team, the cleanup hitter in the lineup. 1-0 pitch. Outside, 2 balls, no strikes. McGowan threw a ton of pitches in the first inning. East Long Meadow really patient with him, really worked the counts. Got into some good hitters counts. Here's the 2 ball, no strike pitch. Outside and low. 3 balls, no strikes to the Spartan catcher, Nick Shea, here in the bottom of the second inning. .30 pitch. Ball 4. 4-ball walk. 4-pitch walk to the catcher, Nick Shea. And that'll bring up Ben Bonavita. He reached in the first inning on a fielder's choice, stole a base, and came all the way around to score on the 2-run single by Matt and Domenico. And the Amherst coach is out to the mound. Talk to his pitcher. There's a runner on first here for the Spartans. And again, just a reminder, if you are a student or know of a student that has an interest in television production, live play-by-play, or news anchoring and reporting, LCAT can always use the help. Contact Mr. Mackey at the high school if interested. Our little mound meeting is broken up. This is a top 10 game between the 8th ranked East Long Meadow Spartans and the 7th ranked Amherst Hurricanes, according to the MassLive.com baseball rankings, Western Mass rankings. As Bonavita steps in. Nick Shea first after walk, 1 out in the bottom of the second. Slow. It's 5 straight balls thrown by McGowan. East Long Meadow very patient at the plate today, making sure they're working the pitcher, getting into some good hitters counts. Ball 2, 2 balls, no strikes to the Spartan pitcher, who was the beneficiary of the 6-run outburst in the bottom of the first. East Long Meadow 6, Amherst 2 here in the bottom of the second inning. They check on Shea, throw to first, he's back safely. Not exactly sure the catcher's going to be wandering that far off the base anyways, but trying to get into a rhythm. 2 balls, no strikes. Pitch to Bonavita. High and outside. 7 straight pitches out of the zone by McGowan. Bonavita heading the count, 3 balls, no strikes. So McGowan steps off. This is a big game for East Long Meadow and for Amherst. They're tied in the league in 3rd place, each 4-3. Gets the courtesy call on the 3-0 pitch. 3 balls, 1 strike. Ben Bonavita, Nick Shea at first, 1 out in the inning. Here's the 3-1 pitch. And it's popped up and out of play. Count is now full as it lands on the tennis courts. Full count to Bonavita. Shea on first. 1 out here in the bottom of the second. High for ball 4. Back-to-back walks for the Spartans after the first batter. Flew out to right. And that'll bring up the first baseman, Tyler Martinelli. Tyler drew a walk and he scored in the first inning. First baseman for the Spartans made a nice play in the top half of the inning to get East Long Meadow out of the inning. First pitch is high. 1 ball, no strikes. 2 on, 1 out here in the bottom of the second. East Long Meadow already leading 6-2. Looking for more. Ball high, 2 balls, no strikes. Two balls, no strikes to the Spartan first baseman. Jack McGowan really laboring out there for Amherst, senior lefty. Throw to first. Bonavita's back. So 2 balls, no strikes. Trying to see if they can catch Bonavita sleeping over there. Quick throw to first. Dug out of the dirt by Zomek. Martinelli walked and came around to score in the first inning. Here he bats in the second inning. 2-0 pitch in there for a strike. Now Tyler's seen one. Now, it's hard. Sometimes you want to make him throw strikes, but then you're passing up a good pitch. Swing and a miss, evens the count at 2-2. McGowan walked Shea and walked Bonavita with 1 out. That's where we stand. 2 balls, 2 strikes to the first baseman, Tyler Martinelli. 2-2 pitch. Ball high. Count is full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The Spartan first baseman looking for his first hit of the game. Second walk. Whatever he can do to get on base. Here in the bottom of the second inning. There's the pitch. It's ball. He loaded the bases on 3 straight walks. And that'll bring up Matt Domenico. 2-run single in the first inning. And that'll do it for the Amherst starter. Brendan McGowan, he'll leave after loading the bases with 1 out. 3 straight walks. And we'll be back in a couple minutes with East Long Meadow leading 6-2 in the bottom of the second. Back here at East Long Meadow High School, Dan Lee now pitching for Amherst. He has to come in and get out of a bases loaded 1 out jam. Batter Matt Indomenico, the designated hitter, 2-run single in the bottom half of the first inning. So Dan Lee, the right-hander, on for, he's a senior for Amherst, now pitching in relief of McGowan. Another ball to Domenico, no place to put him. Tough spot to come in if you're a reliever with the bases loaded and 1 out. One pitch. Gets the strike. Nick Shea on third, Ben Bonavita on second, Tyler Martinelli on first. They all walked after the leadoff batter of the inning flew out. Another ball in there. Matt looking for a big hit. Last time they played Amherst, he had 2 hits in that game. Wouldn't mind a second hit right here. Hits one. Dive and stop by the third baseman. Nice play. Gets the bag and throws to first for the out. Double play. What a nice play by the third baseman, James Carey, to end the inning. And at the end of 2, East Long Meadow 6, Amherst 2.
Sports fans, stay in touch with all of East Long Meadow High School sports by following us on Twitter using our handle @LCATSports. And if you miss any of the games on TV, you can watch the game at your leisure by visiting us on YouTube and searching LCAT 01028.
Back here at East Long Meadow High School, top of the third inning, East Long Meadow 6, Amherst 2. 2-3-4 hitters, Balderson, Carey, and Young for Amherst, facing the Spartan starter, Ben Bonavita. Allowed 2 runs on 3 hits so far in the game. East Long Meadow had a chance to put up a big one, but boy, Jamie Carey with the dive and stop at third got the bag. It's a strong throw to first to get out of that inning. Really nice top 10 type play. One of the one of the nicer plays you'll see in the Western Mass. Prevented East Long Meadow from putting up a big inning. Bonavita's first pitch to the catcher, Jake Balderson, inside for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes to the Amherst catcher, Jake Balderson. He singled in his first at bat, but was left at first base. Bonavita's second pitch catches the corner, evens the count at 1-1. 1-1 pitch, inside. 2 balls, 1 strike to the Amherst catcher. East Long Meadow this week ranked number 8 in the MassLive.com rankings. As it's fouled off at the plate, evens the count at 2-2. Amherst ranks second. Amherst is 7-5 on the year. East Long Meadow looking to even their record at 7-7 and build on the momentum of the big win last Friday against Cathedral, who's ranked number 22 in the state by ESPNBoston.com. So real nice win in the Valley League. It's the only Valley League loss that Cathedral has. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Right by him for strike 3. And that'll bring up the third baseman who just made the real nice play to end the last inning, Jamie Carey. Anytime you can make a full-out dive, step on the bag, and throw to first to help your pitcher out. Dan Lee, who came in relief of Jack McGowan. And he's hit by the first pitch. He'll go to first. Carey had flied out in his first at bat to center field. So 1 on, 1 out. Second hit batter for Bonavita, and that'll bring up the shortstop, Ethan Young. He grounded out to third to end the first inning. Six to 2 East Long Meadow here in the top of the third. As Young hits one, knocked down by the shortstop, but keeps it in front of him. Reed Phillips keeps it in front, but no play. Infield hit for Young. Runners at first and second with 1 out. That'll bring up Brendan Zomack. Brendan hit a line drive to right field that Lambert was able to track down. He's the younger brother of Kevin. He's one of the best pitchers to pitch in the Western Mass. Went on a full scholarship to Vanderbilt and was drafted by the Tigers last year. Now pitching in A-ball for the Tigers franchise. The umpire and the coach for Amherst have a little discussion. Bonavita struck out the first batter. He's hit a batter and gave up a single. Ball inside, evens the count at 1-1. Here in the top of the third inning, East Long Meadow 6, Amherst 2. Chase throw into left field. Carey will come around to score. Young will move up to second base. 6 to 3 East Long Meadow. As the hit batter comes around to score. 2 balls, 1 strike to the batter, first baseman Brendan Zomack. Fouled back, evens the count at 2-2. 1 on, 1 out, 1 run in. So far 6 to 3 East Long Meadow here in the top of the third. Zomack fouls one out of play. Count stays at 2-2. East Long Meadow scored 6 runs in the bottom half of the first inning. The highlights, Matt Domenico's 2-run single. As Zomack takes strike 3 for the second out of the inning. Tough pitch from Ben Bonavita. Umpire comes and grabs time. Now batting Sila DeLomba, the designated hitter. And that'll do it for Bonavita. Tom Chapdelaine in. Tom Chapdelaine now pitching in the top of the third with 2 outs and a runner on second. And we'll take a break as Chapdelaine will get some chance to warm up. Back here at East Long Meadow High School, pitching change for the Spartans in the top of the third. Tom Chapdelaine on in relief of Ben Bonavita. Ben pitched well. They don't want him to throw too many pitches today. At this time of year, you can never be too cautious with the arms. You need them for later in the year. East Long Meadow leads 6-3. Chapdelaine will inherit a runner at second, and the batter is the designated hitter for Amherst, Sila DeLomba. He was hit by a pitch and scored in the second inning. Scored the first run for Amherst. 2 outs here. Bonavita leaves after giving up 3 runs, struck out 3, 4 hits. First pitch is a ball high. 1 ball, no strikes to the DH from Amherst, DeLomba. Ethan Young is your runner on second in an RBI single. As Chapdelaine comes back to even the count with the strike. 1 ball, 1 strike to the junior from Amherst, the designated hitter today. 1-1 pitch on the way from Chapdelaine. Low. 2 balls, 1 strike. DeLomba, in the first meeting between these teams, went the complete game. Gave up 6 hits, 6 strikeouts, and 2 earned runs, and earned the win as Amherst walked off in the 7th inning. 2-1 pitch from Chapdelaine. High. 3 balls, 1 strike to the Amherst DH. Ethan Young on second base. 2 outs here in the top of the third. East Long Meadow 6, Amherst 3. Ball 4. So Chapdelaine walks the first batter he faces here, and that brings up the pitcher Dan Lee, who came into the game in the bottom of the second inning to pitch in relief of Jack McGowan and got a 5-3 double play. Jamie Carey with a beautiful dive stop, touch the bag, throw to first combo. Runners at first and second. 2 outs here, top of the third. Tom Chapdelaine on relief, walked the first batter he faced. Now batting Dan Lee. No throw as the runners each advance a base. So to the pitcher Dan Lee. Chapdelaine. It's the strike. No balls, 2 strikes to the Amherst pitcher Dan Lee, senior. Chapdelaine's pitch. Outside. Couldn't get him to chase. Nice play by Shea to keep it in front. Jack McGowan singled in his first at bat as Chapdelaine gets him to chase the high one for strike 3. And at the end of 2.5 innings, East Long Meadow 6, Amherst 3.
Today's game is brought to you in part by The Pizza Shop, home of the legendary dough, located on Shaker Road in East Long Meadow. And also by Let's Yo, a yogurt experience. You can visit Let's Yo on North Main Street in the Stop and Shop Plaza in East Long Meadow.
Back here at East Long Meadow High School, East Long Meadow 6, Amherst 3, bottom of the third. Hitting this inning for East Long Meadow, Nate Anderson, James Stone, and then the top of the order, John Bortolucci. Nate flew to center field in his first at-bat in the first inning. And he'll be facing the Dan Lee, who came in relief, got a double play to And the second inning got out of a bases loaded, 1-out jam. Anderson, Stone, Bortolucci, and Lambert. First pitch swung on, missed. Strike one. The Spartan third baseman. 1 pitch from Lee. Ball high, evens the count at 1-1. Bottom third. East Long Meadow used 6-run first. Plowhead 6-3 so far. Here at the bottom of the third. And he gets hit by a pitch. He'll go to first. Leadoff batter on for the Spartans. And that brings up the left fielder, James Stone. Infield hit his first time. Hit a tough one to the first baseman. So, James Stone, the left fielder, number 9 hitter in the lineup for East Long Meadow. Takes a strike. No balls, 1 strike. The Spartan left fielder from Amherst senior Dan Lee. Anderson up first, no outs. Bottom of the third. Swung on and missed. Blocked nicely by Balderson in front. No advance by the runner. No balls, 2 strikes to the Spartan left fielder James Stone. With Nate Anderson on first. John Bortolucci on deck. 2 pitch from Lee. High and outside. One thing East Long Meadow's been able to do today, when the Amherst pitchers have gotten ahead of them, they've still worked the count nicely. A couple guys have even worked their way back all the way to a walk. Stone would like to do that here. Swing and a miss, strike 3 for the first out of the inning. And that brings up the leadoff hitter, John Bortolucci. John led off the game with a walk, came around to score. Stolen base error, and then he scored on the triple by Lambert, and then he drove in the final run in the first with a base hit as the Spartans sent 11 men to the plate and a 6-run first. And that one got the catcher. Oh, now they're saying it hit Bortolucci. Second batter hit. Anderson to second. Amherst coach saying that it hit the bat, but third time that Bortolucci's been on base. So now there's 2 on and 1 out here in the third inning. East Long Meadow 6-3 lead here from East Long Meadow High School in this Valley League matchup between the Hurricanes from Amherst and your East Long Meadow Spartans. And now they're saying that it hit the bat. The other umpire came in to confer, and now it's a strike to the leadoff hitter, John Bortolucci. Spartan leadoff hitter. Third batter this inning. Anderson goes back to first, 1 out. 1 strike to Bortolucci. Dan Lee on the mound for Amherst. Pitches outside, evens the count at 1-1. Anderson was hit by a pitch in his at-bat to lead off the inning. Now we have an out, back to the top of the order for Bortolucci. Inside pitch catches the corner, 1 ball, 2 strikes to the Spartan center fielder. One of the leaders in Western Mass in terms of runs scored. Takes the ball high, evens the count at 2-2. Always a good sign when your leadoff hitter is amongst the league leaders in runs scored. Getting on base, getting some things done. And he'll ground ball to third. Throw to second for 1. Can't get him at first. But they cut down the leadoff hitter. 5-4 for the second out. Fielder's choice. So 2 down for right fielder Nick Lambert. Drove in the first Spartan run with a drilled a triple off starter Jack McGowan to left center. Scored Bortolucci. Bortolucci takes off. Strong throw from Balderson, but he'll slide in there safely with the stolen base. Second steal of the game for Bortolucci, one of the faster players in the league. Now he's on second base with 2 outs for Lambert. Like to drive him in. Dan Lee on the mound, came in the bottom of the second, got Amherst out of a jam. Next pitch, strike 2, no balls, 2 strikes to the Spartan right fielder, Nick Lambert. One of the more improved players in Western Mass. The 0-2 pitch. And he rips one past the third baseman into left field. Bortolucci makes the turn. Here's the throw to the plate, and Bordo will come in to score as Lambert singles and takes second on the throw to the plate. Graceful slide at the plate. East Long Meadow's 7th run of the game on the RBI single for Lambert. Lambert's 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs and a run scored so far in this game, and that'll bring up the shortstop Reed Phillips, who singled and scored in the first and flew out. He's 1 for 2 in the game with a run scored and an RBI. Little 2-out magic for East Long Meadow here in the bottom of the third, getting that run in. And now Lambert's on second. First pitch to Phillips is a ball. 1 ball, no strikes from the Amherst reliever Dan Lee. 7-3 your score here. East Long Meadow leading. Next pitch, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes to the Spartan shortstop, Reed Phillips. Reed last Friday in East Long Meadow's big win over Cathedral was 2 for 2 with a run scored. 1 for 2 so far. He hits one. Second baseman throws to first, and that'll do it for the inning. But East Long Meadow gets another run, and at the end of 3 full, East Long Meadow 7, Amherst 3.
Sports fans, stay in touch with all of East Long Meadow High School sports by following us on Twitter using our handle @LCATSports. And if you miss any of the games on TV, you can watch the game at your leisure by visiting us on YouTube and searching LCAT 01028.
Back here, East Long Meadow High School, 4th inning. East Long Meadow leading Amherst 7-3. 8, 9, and 1 hitters for Amherst. Leading off their left fielder, Sam Lincoln. He had a 2-run double in the second inning to get Amherst on the board. Tom Chaplain back on the mound, came on in relief. Gets ahead of Lincoln. No balls, 1 strike. EL here. Next pitch, a little off speed in there, first strike. Lincoln reaches out and pokes one into right field for a hit on the 0-2 pitch to lead off. And Sam Lincoln, the left fielder, is 2 for 2 today. And that'll bring up Django Ellenhorn, the right fielder. He flew out to right field in his first at-bat. A runner on first, no outs here, top of the 4th. East Long Meadow leads 7-3. 6-run first inning really helped. First pitch from Chaplain is fouled off at the plate by Ellenhorn, right fielder. Flew out in his first at-bat. Amherst has been trying to chip away at the lead. East Long Meadow added one in the bottom of the 3rd on a Nick Lambert single. No balls, 1 strike to the number 9 hitter, right fielder, Django Ellenhorn, as Lincoln leads off first. Ball evens the count at 1-1. Was a good piece of hit, and that was a tough pitch, and he just went to right with it, throw to first. He's back safely. count. Chapdelaine looks in for the sign. Throw to the plate. He went, said the umpire. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here the number 9 hitter, Django Ellenhorn. 0 for 1 in the game so far. Tom Chapdelaine came on last inning in relief of Ben Bonavita, who pitched well. Swing and a miss, gets him to chase one for strike 3, as the batter lost track of the count for the first out of the inning. Now back to the top of the Amherst order, Dan Hodgkins. Hodgkins is 0 for 2. He struck out and grounded out to first. Throw to first, back safely. Here in the top of the 4th. Nice move by Chapdelaine. It's his 2nd strikeout since coming in. He's faced 4 batters. Ball high to Hodgkins to lead off the top of the order for Amherst, playing second base today. 1 ball, no strikes. And there's a strike. Evens the count at 1-1. One thing I've noticed about Tom Chapdelaine when he comes in, he's all business out there. Really attacks the hitters well. Doesn't want to get behind in counts. Just fouled off at the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Dan Hodgkins, the second baseman for Amherst today. 0 for 2 so far. Really, the hitting star in the lineup's been their left fielder. 2 hits and 2 RBIs, double and a single. And he's the runner on first, Sam Lincoln. So throw to first, back safely. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1 out here, top of the 4th inning. East Long Meadow leads 7-3. Hit out in front, hit him in the box. So count stays 1 ball, 2 strikes to the batter, Dan Hodgkins. Throw to first again, back safely. Keeping him over there, keeping him honest. Here in the top of the 4th inning, 1 out, 1 on. 1-2 pitch from Chapdelaine. It's popped up. Nate Anderson underneath it. He makes the catch for the 2nd out. And Hodgkins is 0 for 3 today. 2 outs here in the 4th inning. That'll bring up the number 2 hitter, the catcher, Jake Balderson. He singled in the 1st, struck out in the 3rd. Chapdelaine, like I said, getting ahead of the hitters nicely, and that's the key. You know, especially when you got the lead. You want to just let your fielders do the work for you. He went, offered a nice pitch for get ahead of him. No balls, 1 strike. Here in the top of the 4th inning. This Valley League tilt between East Long Meadow and Amherst. 1 pitch. It's foul ball out of play. No balls, 2 strikes. Two outs. Here in the top of the 4th. East Long Meadow 7. Amherst 3. East Long Meadow got 6 of their 7 in the 1st inning. Batted around 11 batters. And he gets the outside corner fastball, strike 3 to end the inning. And at the end of 3.5, East Long Meadow 7, Amherst 3.
Today's game is brought to you in part by The Pizza Shop, home of the legendary dough, located on Shaker Road in East Long Meadow. And also by Let's Yo, a yogurt experience. You can visit Let's Yo on North Main Street in the Stop and Shop Plaza in East Long Meadow.
Back here, East Long Meadow High School. East Long Meadow 7, Amherst 3. Bottom of the 4th inning. Nick Shea, Ben Bonavita, and Tyler Martinelli. Your 4, 5, and 6 hitters will bat this inning. Actually, Chapdelaine will bat for Bonavita's spot, because East Long Meadow was using the DH today. Nick Shea reached on an infield single in the 6-run first and walked. Stranded at third in the East Longmeadow second. East Longmeadow was 6 in the first, got 1 in the third. Stretched their lead to 7-3. Dan Lee, senior right-hander. Shea hits one on the ground to the second baseman. He's up with it. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the bottom 4th. And that'll bring up the pitcher, Tom Chapdelaine. Bonavito, when he was in there, reached on his fielder's choice in the first and came around to score, and then he walked in the second. Chapdelaine swinging the bat. Getting a little ribbon from the dugout. I take it that Chappie doesn't have a lot of at-bats. So he watches strike 2 go by. Dan Lee's done a nice job keeping Amherst in it. Chapdelaine watches strike 3 go by for the second out of the inning. And that'll bring up the first baseman, Tyler Martinelli, who's walked twice, scored once. Scored in the 6-run first inning for East Longmeadow. Yeah, since coming in, Dan Lee got a double play in the second to get out of it, and then gave up a run in the last inning, but minimized the damage. First pitch is for a ball. East Longmeadow looking to make Lee work a little here. Ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. To the Spartan first baseman. Hitting in the 6th hole today. Tyler Martinelli. He had 2 hits the last time they faced Amherst. 0-2 pitch. Ball outside. 3 balls, no strikes. In this meeting between the 7th-ranked Amherst Hurricanes and the 8th-ranked East Longmeadow Spartans, according to the MassLive.com ranking system. MassLive.com does a nice job covering the Western Mass sports scene. 3-0 pitch, courtesy strike. 2 outs, nobody on, bottom of the 4th inning. East Longmeadow 7, Amherst 3. Both teams 4-3 in the league, so this is a big tilt between the two. Ball 4. 2-out walk by Martinelli, and that'll bring up designated hitter Matt Domenico. 2-run single in the first, and then robbed on an absolutely gorgeous play by the third baseman, Jamie Carey, for Amherst. Got him out of a base-loaded 1-out jam as he was able to step on the bag and throw over to first to get Matt. But takes strike 1. The ball was ticketed down the left field line, would have been 2 if not 3 runs. But instead, sometimes that's baseball, nothing to show for it. But he did single in the 6-run first. Strike 2. Lee got ahead of him 0-2 here. Martinelli on first after walk. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th inning. 0-2 pitch. Taken for a ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes to the Spartan DH. He also had 2 hits the last time they faced Amherst up there. Trying to dig out of the hole. Ball 2, evens the count at 2-2. Again, even when they've been down 0-2, the East Longmeadow hitters today have made the Amherst pitchers throw a lot of pitches, battling back, fouling off some pitches. Like right there, gets a piece of that one at the plate. Count stays at 2-2. Lee got the first 2 outs quickly in this inning. Since then has walked Martinelli. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Taken for strike 3 to end the inning. And at the end of 4 full, East Longmeadow 7, Amherst 3.
Sports fans, stay in touch with all of East Longmeadow High School sports by following us on Twitter using our handle @LCatSports. And if you miss any of the games on TV, you can watch the game at your leisure by visiting us on YouTube and searching LCAT 01028.
Back here at East Long Meadow High School, top of the fifth inning, East Long Meadow leads 7-3 over Amherst. Tom Chapdelaine will have to face 3, 4, and 5 in their order. Jamie Carey, Ethan Young, and Brendan Zomek here as the Spartans try and win this key league game and even their overall record at 7-7. Currently they're 6-7. Amherst is 7-5. Both teams 4-3 in the league, which is good enough for a tie for third behind Cathedral and Westfield. Carey on the day is 0 for 2. He was hit by a pitch and came around to score the third Amherst run. Chapdelaine gets ahead of him. First pitch strike. Again, that's the big key in this game, the biggest difference between the two teams. East Long Meadow pitchers have been able to get ahead of the Amherst batters, while the East Long Meadow batters have really made Amherst pitchers work. Ground ball, Reed Phillips, dive and stop. Nice throw to first. Great throw to just get Carey at first. Nice dive and play for the first out here in the top of the fifth inning. Again, when you're getting ahead of guys and you're in a good groove on the mound, you're letting them hit it, and your fielders are making plays like that behind you. That's winning baseball. Ethan Young steps in. He's 1 for 2. He's singled and also grounded out to third. Also has a stolen base today. One out here in the top of the fifth. East Long Meadow leads 7-3. Another strike from Chapdelaine. Again, all business out there on the mound. Lined it right at the shortstop for the second out of the inning. So 2 outs here. Brendan Zomek coming up. Long line of Zomeks who made their name in baseball up in Amherst. First pitch is a strike. A lot of the Little League programs in Amherst were started by Stan many, many years ago. Stan's a member of the Little League Hall of Fame. Second pitch in there for a strike. No balls, 2 strikes. And of course, Brendan's older brother Kevin graduated from Amherst, led them to a state title a couple years ago. Pitched at Vanderbilt as Chapdelaine gets the 3-pitch strikeout to end the inning. 1-2-3 inning here, and after 4.5 innings, East Long Meadow 7, Amherst 3.
Today's game is brought to you in part by The Pizza Shop, home of the legendary dough, located on Shaker Road in East Long Meadow. And also by Let's Yo, a yogurt experience. You can visit Let's Yo on North Main Street in the Stop and Shop Plaza in East Long Meadow.
Bottom of the fifth inning, East Long Meadow leading 7-3 here. East Long Meadow High School in the Valley League game between the Hurricanes of Amherst and your Spartans. Nate Anderson, James Stone, and then the top of the order, John Bortolucci, batting this inning against reliever Dan Lee. He's only given up 1 run since he came in. Got some great help from his defense early on. Anderson's 0 for 2. He was hit by a pitch his last at bat. He also hit a fly ball to center field. Bottom 5, East Long Meadow 7-3 lead over Amherst. 6-run first inning, highlighting the damage done by East Long Meadow today. First pitch in for a strike here in the bottom of the fifth. Both relief pitchers, Chapdelaine and Lee, have done a nice job today. Holds up on it, evens the count at 1-1. Bottom 5. Anderson takes the second pitch for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes to the Spartan third baseman. Made a couple nice plays out in the field. Now looking to get on in the bat. Hits one out to right field. Right fielder will over, makes the catch for the first out of the inning. That'll bring up the number 9 hitter, James Stone. He singled in his first at bat, struck out. Second, 1 for 2. His single came off the starter, Jack McGowan. John Bartolucci on deck. Ball low. 1 ball, no strikes to the Spartan left fielder, James Stone. On 1 pitch. Ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes to the left fielder, Stone. Here in the bottom of the 5th inning. 1 out. 7-3 East Long Meadow. 1 on the ground of the second baseman. Bobbles. Gets it for the out. Staying with the play for the second out. And that'll back to the top of the order for center fielder John Bortolucci, who's been on base all 3 times. He walked, RBI signal, reached on a fielder's choice, 2 stolen bases, 2 runs scored, adding to his Western Mass total where he's amongst the leaders. Looking to get on base for the 4th time today. Catcher will call time and go out and talk to the pitcher. A little windy here. 2 quick outs for the Spartans in the bottom of the 5th. They lead 7-3 in this key league battle. They figure 4 more wins for the Spartans and should be good enough to qualify for the Western Mass playoffs. And this year the state is doing something different. They're having an actual Super 8 tournament and a state tournament. But if you're chosen as one of the teams in the Super 8 tournament, you cannot compete in the overall state tournament. So it'll be interesting to see which teams accept invitations to the Super 8 and which teams will be left to fill out the field for the state title. In Western Mass, Westfield, West Springfield, the Cathedral, the top 3 teams in the region, were all invited to the Super 8. Now they have to decide whether they want to accept the invitation. First pitch to Bortolucci's in ball 1. According to the ESPN Boston.com rankings this week, Westfield's in at 14, West Springfield's 20, and Cathedral's 22. Another ball to Bortolucci. And then Chicopee and Ludlow were in the others receiving votes category. It's similar to what they do in hockey. Cathedral is one of the teams that usually competes in the Super 8 in hockey, Division 1. In there for a strike, 2 balls, 1 strike. But it's an interesting decision because if you accept the bid from the invitation for the Super 8, that eliminates you from playing in the state tournament. 2-1 pitch. Ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike. Here in the bottom of the 5th, 2 outs, no on. John Bortolucci looking to get on base for the 4th time today. He hits one into the hole, shortstop. Fields and throws. And just got him. Nice play, 1-2-3 inning for Amherst, and after 5 complete, East Long Meadow 7, Amherst 3.
Sports fans, stay in touch with all of East Long Meadow High School sports by following us on Twitter using our handle @LCATSports. And if you miss any of the games on TV, you can watch the game at your leisure by visiting us on YouTube and searching LCAT 01028.
Back here, top of the 6th inning, East Long Meadow leading 7-3 over Amherst. East Long Meadow benefited from a 6-run first inning to get on the board, and just want to let everybody out there know that today's camera woman is Dawn Martin. She's doing her first outing shooting sports for LCAT, and if you want to be like Dawn and film our games or broadcast our games, just see Don Mackey at the high school if you're interested. Any student out there, or if you know of a student out there interested in television production or live play-by-play or news anchoring and reporting, you can learn your craft here at the high school for LCAT. Believe me, I wish I had something like this when I was here. It's nice as a 41-year-old to jump in and do some of this now. But we're looking for the students, and everybody's welcome. Leading off for Amherst in the 6th inning, the designated hitter, Sela DeLomba. And he hits one, slow one on the ground. Phillips charges, throw to first, gets past the first baseman. DeLomba will take second base. So runner on second, no outs. McGowan going back in to hit. He singled in his first at bat. Slow roller. Phillips made a nice try, but low throw. Martinelli couldn't scoop it out. So DeLomba on second, no outs here in the top of the 6th. East Long Meadow leading 7-3. Jack McGowan back up. He takes first pitch strike from Chapdelaine. Important thing now is just getting some outs. Nice block in the dirt by Nick Shea back there. Tom Chapdelaine came in relief of Ben Bonavita, who pitched well. Coach didn't want him to throw too many pitches today. 1-1 count. Batter McGowan inside. 2 balls, 1 strike to the hitter, Jack McGowan. McGowan started the game for Amherst, gave up 6 runs in the first, and was pulled with 1 out in the 2nd inning. Back in there. Ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike. DeLomba, the designated hitter, on second, no outs. Here in the top of the 6th. East Long Meadow 7, Amherst 3. If it weren't for some Amherst defense, East Long Meadow could have even more too. They made a couple real nice plays, get out of some jams. Comes back with a strike. The count is now full. 3 balls, 2 strikes to McGowan. DeLomba on second, no outs. Here's the 3-2 pitch from Chapdelaine. Fouled down, out of play. Count stays at 3-2. Dan Lee, the Amherst pitcher, did a nice job today, holding the Spartans offense down after he came in. He had to come into a bases loaded 1-out jam. Didn't allow a run in that inning. Only allowed run in the innings that he pitched. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Oh. Trying to figure out what happened here. Batter swung and it hit him. Now he's going to confer with the umpire. If he swings and it hits him, he should be out. Should be a dead ball. The umpires confer here. And they'll allow him to be on first because the ball got by the catcher, even though they're saying it hit him. Right. So runners at the corners and no outs for today's top hitter in Amherst lineup, Sam Lincoln, the left fielder's 2 for 2. 2-run double in the 2nd inning to get Amherst on the board, and singled in his next at bat in the 4th inning. Runners at the corners, no outs. East Long Meadow coach still talking it over. And now the umpires will confer again. If the batter was hit, even though he swung, it should be a dead ball. He should be out. But the umpires are saying that runners at first and third, no outs. So Sam Lincoln stepping in. Coach is still okay. Now that we got that all settled, runners at the corners. First pitch from Chaplain is in there for a strike. Sam Lincoln, the left fielder for Amherst. 2 for 2 today. McGowan takes his lead. Second pitch, no balls, 2 strikes. Chaplain looking to get out of this mini jam. 7-3 lead here in the top of the 6th inning. Lincoln will go down and talk to his coach. Chaplain takes a step off the mound. DeLomba at third. He reached on a hit and an error. And then McGowan struck out, was hit by the pitch after he swung. Fouls one off. Pitch got by the catcher, so he ran up to first. Count stays at no balls, 2 strikes. Big key batter in this game. Nice off-speed pitch for strike 3. Runner's still in the corners with 1 out now for the number 9 hitter, Django Ellenhorn. He flew to right, and he struck out in his 2 at-bats. He's 0 for 2 today. DeLomba, the designated hitter, on third. McGowan on first, throw to first, back safely. Slum Meadow looking to just get some outs. That's all you need right now. Ground ball to short. He'll get the bag for 1, throw to first. Double play, gets out of the inning. 6-3 double play, and at the end of 5.5, East Long Meadow 7, Amherst 3.
Today's game is brought to you in part by The Pizza Shop, home of the legendary dough, located on Shaker Road in East Long Meadow. And also by Let's Yo, a yogurt experience. You can visit Let's Yo on North Main Street in the Stop and Shop Plaza in East Long Meadow.
Back here, East Long Meadow High School, bottom of the 6th. East Long Meadow leading 7-3. Matt McCudden, the third pitcher of the day for Amherst, the right-hander. Senior on. Jake McGowan lasted an inning and a third. Dan Lee came in. Only gave up 1 run while he was out, and he got out of a bases-loaded 1-out jam. Batting this inning for East Long Meadow, the 2, 3, and 4, Nick Lambert, Reed Phillips, and Nick Shea. Beyond a hit in the bottom of the 6th. East Long Meadow blew this one open early with a 6-run first, highlighted by Matt Indomenico's 2-run single and Nick Lambert's RBI triple. Both of those guys came around to score as part of that 6-run inning. Lambert drove in the 7th run, RBI single in the 3rd, driving in John Bortolucci with 2 outs. 7-3, East Long Meadow. East Long Meadow just got out of a mini jam. Nice double play turned by Reed Phillips at short. And in steps Nick Lambert, who's 2 for 3 today. RBI run scored here in the bottom of the 6th. Matt McCudden on the mound now for the Hurricanes of Amherst. First pitch low for a ball to the right fielder Lambert. RBI triple in the 1st, RBI single in the 3rd, scored a run in the 1st. 2 2 for 3 on the day. And he hits one, but it's going foul. Evens the count at 1-1. East Long Meadow trying to get a little revenge. They lost up in Amherst earlier this season. Walk-off variety for Amherst. McCudden looks in. Here's the 1-1 pitch on its way. And Lambert drives one to left, but right at the left fielder for the first out. One down in the bottom of the 6th, and that'll bring up Reed Phillips. Reed with an RBI single in the first and scored. His fly out and a ground out. His next 2 at-bats, he's 1 for 3. Also made a couple really nice plays. Nice diving stop earlier in the game and just helped turn a double play to get out of a jam last inning. Pitch from McCudden is in there. Cut on for strike. No balls, 1 strike to the shortstop Phillips. 1 out in the bottom of the 6th. East Long Meadow leading 7-3. Next pitch for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike to the Spartan shortstop. Phillips has put together a couple back-to-back really nice games. 2 for 2 last Friday against Cathedral in the big win. As he fouls one off. Out of play, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Matt McCudden on the mound now for Amherst. He's their 3rd pitcher of the day. Dan Lee did a nice job in relief, only allowing 1 run. Spartans got to the starter, Jake McGowan, in the first with 6. 6-0 when they took the field in the top of the 2nd. It's always a good feeling. Ball high. Evens the count at 2-2. To the number 3 hitter in the Spartans lineup, Reed Phillips. 1 out, nobody on. 7-3, East Long Meadow, bottom of the 6th. Here from East Long Meadow High School. Ball 3. Count is now full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. 1 out here. To Reed Phillips. Nick Shea on deck. Phillips looking to get on. Get a little more insurance on. Takes ball 4. So Phillips goes to first. Nick Shea coming up. Nick today 1 for 2 with an infield hit and a walk. He also grounded out and has played his usual stellar defense behind the plate. One of the leaders of the Spartan team. So on first, pitch is high and inside for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes to the Spartan catcher. Time called by the Amherst catcher, Jake Balderson. So he goes out to talk to his pitcher, Matt McCudden. This is his first inning of work. Got a long fly out to left and walked Phillips, 2 batters that he's faced. 1 on, 1 out to the cleanup hitter, Nick Shea. Phillips takes his lead off first. 0-1 pitch. High for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Shea at bat. Tommy Chapdelaine on deck. Strike 1. 2 balls, 1 strike. Runner out, Reed Phillips on first after he walked. 1 out in the inning. Spartans looking to add a couple of extra runs here in the bottom of the 6th. Pops it up. 3rd baseman, Carey, makes the catch for a 2nd out of the inning. And that'll bring up the pitcher, Tom Chapdelaine. Chapdelaine struck out in his only at-bat today. Ben Bonavita had been 0 for 1 with a run scored in this spot in the lineup. 2 outs, runner on first for Spartans. Cudden's pitch high for a ball. One ball, no strikes to the hitter, Tom Chapdelaine. Reed Phillips on first. Ball outside and low. 2 balls, no strikes to the number 5 hitter. Pitcher came on in relief. Has done a nice job. Done a real nice job in relief. Hasn't allowed a run. Inside, ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes to the pitcher, Ben Chapdelaine. Tyler Martinelli on deck if Chapdelaine could reach here. Cudden's pitch. Right down the middle. Strike 1. 3 balls, 1 strike to the Spartans pitcher. Really done a nice job today, keeping Amherst off the board. Strike 2. Count is now full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Phillips on first with 2 outs. He'll be running on the pitch. If Chapdelaine could put one in the gap, Phillips could score all the way from first. Be off with a pitch. And now the catcher will go back out and talk to his pitcher here. Chapdelaine will look down to his coach. Count is full here. We've seen some really nice defensive plays. Reed Phillips today has made a couple, and their third baseman, Jamie Carey, also made a big diving stop, started the double play. Okay, they're ready. Chapdelaine back in the box. Count is full, throw to first. Phillips is back in. So, bottom 6, East Long Meadow 7, Amherst 3. 3-2 pitch, fouled off by Chapdelaine. Keeps the count at 3-2. Phillips returns to first base. Matt McCudden trying to get out of the inning. Amherst will have the top of their order up in the... He strikes him out. And that'll end the inning. And at the end of 6 full, East Long Meadow 7, Amherst 3.
Sports fans, stay in touch with all of East Long Meadow High School sports by following us on Twitter using our handle @LCATSports. And if you miss any of the games on TV, you can watch the game at your leisure by visiting us on YouTube and searching LCAT 01028.
Back here, East Long Meadow High School, top of the 7th. Tom Chapdelaine trying to finish it off. First pitch to the leadoff batter, Dan Hodgkins. The second baseman for Amherst is in there for a strike. Hodgkins is 0 for 3 today. He struck out, grounded out to first, and hit a pop-up to the third baseman. Chapdelaine. Nice pitch. Hodgkins out in front. Couldn't make contact. No balls, 2 strikes here. Chapdelaine, since he came in, he's throwing up zeros up there. 1, 2, and 3 batters in the Amherst lineup here. Strike 3. 3-pitch strikeout for the first out of the top of the 7th inning. Here, East Long Meadow leading 7-3. That'll bring up the catcher, Jake Balderson. He singled in the first and since then struck out twice. Six strikeouts for Chapdelaine since coming in the game in the 3rd inning. And 9 strikeouts total for East Long Meadow pitching. Strike 2. Nothing but strikes this inning from Chapdelaine as he's had a Balderson 0-2. 1 out, top of the 7th. East Long Meadow leads 7-3. Looking to close this one out. Get that pivotal Valley League win. It's grounded back to Chapdelaine, throws to first. 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. And that'll bring up the Amherst third baseman, Jamie Carey. Jamie's 0 for 3. He was hit by a pitch, stole a base, and scored a run. Scored the last run that Amherst scored in the game. Also made one of the highlight defensive plays of the game, and then had it turned around on him. And another strike. Chapdelaine, nothing but strikes this inning. 7 pitches, 7 strikes. Looking to close this one out. Fouled out of play, 0-2. Chapdelaine got the first batter on strikes. Got the weak ground out back to him. Now he's ahead of the third baseman, Jamie Carey, 0-2. Gonna finish this one off. It's a pitch. Oh, and he hit him. Carey will walk it off and go to first with 2 outs. That'll bring up Ethan Young. Ethan is 1 for 3. Singled in the third. Stole a base. He's also grounded out and hit a line drive right at the shortstop, Phillips, in his last at bat in the 5th. So runner on first, 2 outs here in the top of the 7th inning. East Long Meadow leading 7-3. If Young can get on, Zomek will be up next. Phillips will steal second. Nice throw, just barely got in there. Strike to the batter. Key here is just to get the batter. 2 outs in the 7th inning. Chapdelaine ahead of Young, 0-1. Nice block by Shea. Carey will get the bag anyways. Runner on third doesn't matter. 1 ball, 1 strike to the batter, Ethan Young. Tom Chapdelaine looking to close this one out. He's done a nice job since coming in the 3rd inning. One pitch. Swung on and missed. 1 ball, 2 strikes. To the Amherst shortstop, Ethan Young. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Ball high, evens to count at 2-2. Chapdelaine this inning struck out the first batter, got the second batter to weakly tap back to him, and hit Carey, who's now on third. Looks in for the sign, the 2-2 pitch on its way. Fouled back. Count stays at 2-2. Here in the top of the 7th inning, East Long Meadow leads 7-3. Tom Chapdelaine in relief of Ben Bonavita. East Long Meadow put 6 on the board in the bottom half of the 1st inning. Never trailed since. Ball high. Count is now full, 3-2. To the cleanup hitter, Ethan Young. Chapdelaine looks in for the sign, the 3-2 pitch. Strike 3, then that's the ball game. 7th strikeout of the day for Chapdelaine. East Long Meadow grabs a big league victory. They're 5-3 in the league. They even their record at 7-7. The Let's Yo defensive play of the game, we'll give that to Reed Phillips with the diving stop to rob Jamie Carey in the 5th inning. And your Pizza Shop offensive player of the game, we will give to Nick Lambert. RBI triple, RBI single, 2 for 4. 2 RBIs, runs scored, and that'll do it here, East Long Meadow High School. The final score, East Long Meadow 7 and Amherst 3.